that he belongs in the top echelon, you know, with the fights that he fought, that he deserved a shot. Not saying that he beat a elite fighter yet, you know, in the welterweight division, but the guys that he have fought to get him to this point right now, he passed the test with flying colors. So, you know, we never know until he get in there with the likes of, you know, the elite.
2023 is about to be lit, and I'm talking about 4th of July. Going into the new year, y'all, man, Manny Pacquiao is trying to make a comeback. You got Jaron Ennis. He's about to take over the welterweight division. I'm telling you, man, Jaron Ennis got that Pacquiao aura, y'all. He's a nice guy, but he's a monster in the ring. You know what I mean? Salute and shout out also to Tank Davis, man. I'm glad you got that situation taken care of with your family, champ. Can't wait to see you in the ring January 7th. But let's talk about that co-main event on January 7th. Jaron Ennis, man, look, fight hype. Fight hub. Everybody was in Philly recently, man, checking out Jaron Ennis while he was in camp, looking super explosive, looking vicious, looking deadly, looking powerful, looking fresh, looking ready to take over the division. I'm telling you, man, 2023 is going to be a changing of the guard. I told you guys the IBF gave Errol Spence 120 days after his next fight to fight Jaron Ennis, or he's going to get stripped of that title. That's if he doesn't lose those titles. And a fight, you know, Keith Thurman working on that Keith Thurman retirement plan. He is working on it. He's working on it. He's working on it. But will he get that shot? Errol Spence seems to be adamant about not giving Keith Thurman that shot. You know what I mean? He says, look, until Al tell me who I'm fighting, I don't know. Which, that I can believe. Jaron Ennis is going to get his shot in 2023. 2023 is going to have some super explosive fights. And Jaron Ennis versus Errol the True Spence can be one of them, potentially. But if he can land that Errol Spence fight, if he can beat Errol Spence, which he has the tools, the IQ, and the ability to do, all fights after Errol Spence. Next up, possibly Crawford. Who knows? Speedy Rashidi Ellis. Or Virgil Ortiz, given he beats Stanionis when they fight. But Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz, that's going to be a great fight. You have similar styles going head to head. Both of these guys are come-forward fighters. You know what I mean? Virgil Ortiz does have a super explosive knockout percentage, but at the same time, man, Stanionis is a game opponent. He's a tough opponent. His style is kind of similar in some ways to Virgil Ortiz. So Virgil Ortiz is not going to go into that fight and just do what he want to do to Stanionis. Stanionis is the best name that Virgil Ortiz have faced so far in his young career. So those thinking that Virgil Ortiz is just going to go into this fight and knock, you know what I mean, Manti Stanionis off, no, not at all. I think that's going to be a tough fight for Virgil Ortiz. And Virgil Ortiz, he can't lose that fight. Stanionis goes to the body well, has a nice, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, left hook to the body and left hook to the head. He likes to come over, you know what I mean, come over the top with that right hand, that overhand right. I mean, Stanionis is nice, man. He got some tools. He got some things that when he puts those shots together, man, he hurts guys. And Virgil Ortiz, if he gets caught with those shots or variations of those shots, he can get hurt and he can lose. Now, Jaron Ennis is a different animal, though. All those names that I just got finished naming, if Boots fights any of these guys, they lose. You have to give anybody credit in a fight, but Jaron Ennis, his skill set, his IQ, his potential, his ability is just too super explosive. I don't care who this young brother has fought so far, his skill level, his IQ, his dedication to the sport, the fact that he can fight on Saturday, you know what I'm saying, and Monday he's back in the gym, you know what I mean, Sunday he's at church. I mean, this young brother is blessed. This young brother is dedicated. Shout out to Bozy Ennis, you know what I mean, for keeping Jaron Ennis, his son and fighter, locked in, not only as far as his potential, but what he can accomplish in the sport. Jaron Ennis has the makings to be a legendary fighter in the sport of boxing. He has the skill set, he has his will set, and he has his mindset on being great. He wants to bring that old school style of fighting back, where the best fight the best. How can you not like this kid? How can you not respect this kid and what he wants to do in the sport of boxing? You cannot deny the fact that, guess what? Errol Spence is going to have to see Jaron Ennis, especially if he stays at 147. If he stays at 147, you know what I mean, within this next year, he's going to have to fight Boots. And when he fights Jaron Ennis, that's going to be a great fight. That's going to be a great fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Boots is just going to go into that fight and watch Spence. No, not at all. But he has the tools to defeat Errol Spence. He has the IQ to defeat Errol Spence. He has the hunger and the tenacity and the will to defeat Errol Spence. So when you mix all these things together, bro, I'm telling you, man, you have a recipe for an upset. You have a recipe for in the new. And once Jaron Ennis becomes a champion, it's over. His skill set is only going to get more laser focused. And I don't think nobody's going to beat this kid, man. He's going to run through 147, I say, for a good year or two. Then after that, Jaron Ennis is going to go up to 54, and he's going to do damage at 54. And the same thing he's accomplished at 47, he's going to do the same thing at 54. Like, his mindset and game plan is already in his head. He's not making it up as he go. He wants to accomplish a set amount of things in the sport of boxing, and it's real simple too. At 47, take out everybody. At 54, take out everybody. Go up to 60 and take out everybody. So Charlo, anybody at 54, 60, whatever, Jaron Ennis, within the next 5 years, he's going to destroy those divisions. He's going to, Boots is only, I think, 24, 25 years old. So by the time that he's 30, he's going to have at least 2 divisions under his belt. At least. That's not all 3. If he possibly, it depends upon the competition, who he faces. But if he gets into this, if he fights Spence and makes it look easy, which he potentially could. If he fights Crawford and makes it look easy, which he potentially could. Go up to 54 and fight a Charlo or Sebastian Fundora or whoever. And he can make it look easy like he potentially could. Even though those are some great fighters, Boots' skill set is still that super explosive. He has tools that we have yet to see him produce yet, because nobody has been able to bring those tools out of his toolbox yet. Nobody has went past 6 rounds with Jaron Ennis, and that's crazy. He has knocked out everybody, damn near. Jaron Ennis is not only a problem, man, but he's a certified problem. Even though people will look at Spence like he's the quote-unquote A-side, when I told you guys, in the back of people's mind, people will be like, you know what, Boots got a chance. Boots can go into this fight and he can knock Spence off. Boots can face Crawford going to that fight and he can knock Bud off. Like, that's what's going to be in people's mind. That's what people are going to be thinking. That's what people are going to be saying. Even though they may look at Crawford or Spence as the A-side. But see, in their mind, people be like, you know what, Boots got a chance. He has a damn good chance. Boots can beat these guys. Boots has been calling these guys out for years already. Now, anytime a fighter is calling people out already, he or she feels as though they are ready to face that level of competition now. Bud has said it himself, despite who he has faced so far, he has earned the right to get into that ring and have a shot at elite competition. And if you have 47, the elite competition is Bud and Spence. So Bud said it himself, Boots did enough to get into that ring. He deserves a shot with me or Spence. And in 2023, he's going to get it. You know what I mean? And depending upon the situation, man, like I'm telling you, man, like if Boots gets in there and he knocks between Spence and Crawford, Spence is going to be the first one to Boots fight. Especially with the situation with the IBF just mandated after his next fight, he got 120 days to face Boots. So that's why it's a no-brainer right now that Spence and Crawford need to get it done. Sit down, hash things out, get that money situated. Because according to Bomac, that's what's, holding things up, which is fair. Yes, Bud numbers may not be super explosive, super spectacular, when it's in comparison to Spence, but that's really how you have to look at it. You have to look at what Bud produces and look at what Spence produces, and you pretty much put that together and you figure out, ultimately, these are the numbers that we're going to be producing. You really can't short somebody just because they may be less of a pay-per-view draw than you. You have to look at the numbers that you guys are going to do together. And if one person's numbers may be smaller than the other guy's number, then so be it. But you just can't totally shortchange somebody. Bud is a multi-division champion, undisputed at 40, even though he came up, I believe, from like 35, did some damage at 47. Now he is coming into that fight with Errol Spence. Like, the fact that he's on that level, on that stage, not only talking about a fight with Errol Spence, but he's deserving of a fight with Errol Spence, that should pretty much solidify financially what he can possibly get. That's in my opinion. So Spence, Crawford, they need to get that job done. They need to get that thing signed, sealed, deliver 2023, get into the ring, lock it up, and get that fight out the way. And if it's not going to be a trilogy, guess what? Whoever wins that fight, whether it's Spence or Crawford, they're going to fight Boots. He will be undisputed champion, not just unified or having one belt. You're talking about Boots being undisputed. It is going to be over. He is going to be destroying everybody. He already is laser focused. He's already dedicated to the sport. So if he is an undisputed champion, can you just imagine the focus that this kid is going to have? Nobody is going to be able to beat him. He is literally going to be destroying people. You know what I mean? He's going to make it to the point where people ain't going to want to step up and fight him. Just like it is now when he ain't got no titles. He's going to have all the belts and people still not going to want to fight him. That's how scary it is going to be for the 147-pound division in 2023 if Jaron Ennis is successful when he faces Spence or Crawford, whoever wins that fight. So it's just a question of, will Jaron Ennis be unified champion or will he be an undisputed champion? Either way, it's going to be legendary. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Put your thoughts in the comments. Put your hearts in the comments. Don't put your soul. That is God's property. Bless New Year's. You know what I'm saying? I hope your New Year is fruitful. Hopefully, you got to remember, y'all got to work for everything that you get. Nothing is given. You shouldn't want nobody to give nothing to you. Earn everything. Earn your keep. Your blessings will be that much greater. And appreciate what you have. I'm going to catch y'all coming into the new. Peace.